What's up, everybody? This is a little review on Roscoe's finished controller. I finally got done with it today. I did the green coat yesterday, and before I put the the gloss on, I wanted to wait until I had the whole shell completely hardened. So this is the final product. Um, as you can see, it has the Fox rating and the Fox head on the side. Let's move towards the camera. This is all it is a neon. Ooh, God, that was a neon green controller, and this is actually it's really smooth. Um, I put a lot of gloss on today, and the weather here in Germany, as you can tell, I'm kind of sick right now. It gets cold, and then it gets hot, and then it gets cold. So the weather really fluctuates around here, and it's really not good for me. And this controller and Tim's controller, which I will do in a video, or probably this one at the end or something. Um, it's not good for the controllers when it's cold outside. And I'll show you guys one flaw that actually, well, he won't care because I already talked to him on Facebook. Roscoe, he's probably watching this video, and he'll know what I'm talking about. Gotta clean up a little bit right here. Oh, gotta clean that up. But anyway, what I was saying is when it gets cold, it tends to have the paint shrivel. So what I'm saying, like on the back here, you can see, or not really, it's really hard, but if you can see it right there, it's like a shriveled bubble. And it's fully hardened, so you can't really press it down much. No matter how much I try, I don't want to try too much because I don't want to pop it and let it crack. Excuse me. Um, but you know, it's fine. He said it was okay. But everything else is pretty much fine. The battery pack does take a little force to get out, but that's normal. That's been the same with like all of them basically. That's just because the paint. And what I did was I shaved off the up to the black layer on each side. That's not carving into the controller. It's actually carving into the paint. The paint's about, I don't know, maybe that thick. And that doesn't seem like a lot, but if I can, I don't know if I can try. But the shards are pretty thick. Um, so yeah, I'm just trying. I'm gonna be after this video. I'm gonna shave around the sides because you're not gonna be seeing um, the inside. So as long as it doesn't cut in the corners or anything, I'm fine. But anyway, yep. This is the final. It's the shiniest one I've had. The weather does, even the cold weather does shriveling, but it helps the gloss. I don't know why, but it helps the gloss keep its shine at most times. For me, at least. I don't know if this happens to anyone else, but every time, like when I was doing Oliver's controller, if you guys saw that video, it was really glossy. I could actually see myself through it, or on it, or whatever. And when I left it out, it came back, and then it wasn't as shiny as you guys saw in the video. As you can see, this one, all that shine is coming off the monitor because I have it on full bright, and this whole thing is just shining off of it. So, yeah, it's a really shiny controller. Not as smooth as Oliver's was, but it's pretty smooth. Um, I'm starting to get, like I said, I'm not pro at this, so there's always going to be flaws in every controller that I make. Even my own. Like, my very first controller right here, I had so many flaws in this one, such as this right here when I really wanted to touch it, and then up here when I had some other problems. And the tiger stripes weren't all that great. My favorite part was the biohazard. I love that part. But as you can see, I've progressed and I'm getting a little better. Hopefully, I'm going to try and do this when the weather's better. It was raining a lot during the time I wanted to paint, so my friends were wondering why the controllers weren't getting to them. And I would tell them, and then due to the rushing, it made me feel rushed or whatever, and I wanted to get these things done. Swapping to Tim's controller it's a really nice controller, and he wanted some band lyrics on it, a heartogram. I'm not sure what all this is, so you can't, I don't know, lyrics to a song and then underside. Nothing really else. It's just lyrics, symbol. I think that's, I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. But what happened with Tim's is it shriveled, as you can see right there, or there. Everywhere else is basically fine. It's just right here in this little area. And on the front, there's some problems up to on these corners. It's usually in the cracks around the sides. I can't help it. Um, I was putting really, really light coats over it. I was actually on this one. It took about 10 coats to get this because all I did was light coat. I didn't do any wet coats except like the sixth one. And this one I did no wet coats. So the shriveling, it's really hard for me not to do it unless I were to do it in my house where it's nice and warm and it's not going to shrivel. But I can't do that because I don't have the proper ventilation or anything. But this is still a good controller. I like with the shriveling, it gives it more of a grip on this side and all this. You can still see everything perfectly fine. You can barely see the shovels unless you put it under light, except for this one because that's the biggest one. But this still is a really good controller for what he wanted. This is I don't know. This one might be my favorite because it's the color green and the green's my favorite color. So I don't know. The top up here, no matter how much I put paint on there, it would not color it for some reason. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if it was dripping, but I tried to like turn it on the top. So yeah, but it's really not noticeable because you're gonna be holding the controller like this, and no one's really gonna be looking up here towards the screen. But you're only gonna be seeing the front of the controller, so I think it's really nice. Um, he might have different opinions on it, but yeah, it's fine. He didn't want any of the triggers painted, and I'm really glad he didn't because it looks really, really nice without it. Especially the bottom. I like the black and the green. Goes along really nice. Makes it look really cool. And I got my own wireless controller finally because I've been using a wired one. So I'm going to be painting mine once I get everyone else's done. So that's basically it, guys. That's your controller, Roscoe. So here it is. I'll be bringing it tomorrow for you to collect. If you have the money, you can pay me then. Otherwise, we do have the contract. So, yep. I'll see you guys later. So don't forget to subscribe.